I made it my life's goal to show all of you out there that even in 2026, buying a cool project car does not have to break the bank, even though the used car market is currently pretty messed up. So I've set out to buy and fully finish building a project car that's both cheap, reliable, cool, and super fun to drive, all under $3,000 in 2026. And that's where this car comes in. I bought this little Miata as a completely disassembled barn find for $2,000 and got to work straight away. This car has come a long way since I initially bought it, and after giving it a full service in the last video and solving a very worrying ticking noise, we are one step closer to getting this baby back on the road. And also one step closer to the max budget of $3,000. Which brings us to a total cost of the build so far of $2,245. Well, that's actually gonna change today, because the game plan for this video is not only to make the Miata look a little bit better, but also to make it run and most importantly drive better. So let's just hope we can stay under budget somehow. It's definitely gonna be a tight one. Alright, let's jump right into the deep end. I really want to get this car road legal as soon as possible, but for that, it still needs a lot of work. And by a lot, I really mean a huge amount of work. Okay, so we got a bunch of parts right here. We got a lot of work ahead of us on the Miata today, because not only do I want to make this car drive and handle much better today, most importantly, run better engine-wise, but also get it street legal by the end of this video. And in order to get it street legal here in Germany, it will first need to pass a vital main inspection. So let's first give the car a quick check over and see how our chances are. At these main inspections, they obviously check over the technical condition of the car very, very thoroughly. And a big part is checking that none of the bushings have any play in them, but they also check underneath the car for any obvious rust spots or anything that's about to rot through. It's so warm in Germany right now, it's like literally impossible to work on your car without dying. But anyways, it's looking pretty good. Underneath the car, there are a few spots that look a little rusty, but it's mainly surface rust. And if I try to poke it with my trusty old screwdriver right here, actually nothing falls through, which is a good sign. When it comes to rust, we should be all good to go. Now there's one thing that I noticed, which is that the exhaust is actually rusted through on two little spots right here, but probably not going to be a big problem. But apart from that, it's actually looking great underneath the car. I really expected worse. Let's start with all of the other very important things though that we also need to figure out before bringing the car to said main inspection. Okay, so the first thing that I really want to take care of are the leaky shocks in the rear. I'm going to be totally transparent with you. I actually already brought the car to the main inspection like a week ago, and it actually failed miserably because of actually only two major reasons, one of them being the leaky shocks in the rear. So I already know kind of what to fix about the car to get it to pass the main inspection. And the thing is, when I installed these shocks, or well, the original suspension on the car, these were actually totally dry. They were not leaking at all. That's probably mainly because they were just stored on a shelf for like the better part of 10 years, and during that time there was like no load on them, obviously. So the first time I drove the car, they actually started leaking pretty badly, and I didn't notice until I brought the car to the main inspection, and they actually put it on the lift. And also, it looks like front right one is actually also starting to leak, so I'm gonna have to replace that in the near future as well, but not for now. Today we got other problems. And we sure do have a lot of other problems, but for now let's focus on the rear shocks, which thankfully are extremely easy to replace. So let's take out the old suspension and get straight to work. First, I gotta make sure to compress the spring properly, because I really don't want any strut to fly in my face with Mach 2. And then it's just a matter of sliding out the old shock, putting in the new one, putting everything back together in reverse, and we should be good to go. Let's check real quick. Oh yeah. I mean, not that I could feel any difference, but that's some properly working suspension right there. Anyways, enough joking. Let's keep going with trying to fix the car, I guess. Next up, the exhaust. With these two holes in the exhaust, the car will not pass its main inspection, so I will first need to weld them shut. However, Alright, we are having a bit of a hiccup. So the problem is I tried welding the exhaust, but apparently it's just so thin that it's just burning through. I already set the welding machine all the way to the lowest setting, but it's like still burning through and I'm just making it worse. So I'm just gonna sand down the stuff that I welded and then I'm gonna use this magic stuff. Auspuff-Reparaturpaste. That's your daily dose of German. Holes are gone. Let's move on to the next thing that we will need to take care of, because at the main inspection, or the attempted main inspection, the inspector said that the radiator was leaking. I've never seen the radiator actually leak, but as one of you guys had already suggested in the comments below that I should replace the radiator anyways, because it will crack eventually, well, might as well just replace the radiator now. Thankfully, I cannot think of another car where it's that easy to actually replace the radiator, since it's just held in by 2 bolts in the top, and after draining the coolant, removing the bottom and the top hose, I can then simply lift it out from the top. The only thing I need to keep in mind is to transfer over the fan to the new radiator, and we should be good to go for many years to come. The only thing I've noticed about the new radiator is that it apparently is for the big version of the Miata, so the 131 horsepower version of the MX-5. However, I do have the smallest version of the MX-5 with 90 horsepower, so I actually had to reroute some hoses, loop them together, because apparently the small 1.6 liter is missing some connections here and there. Radiator is replaced, the shocks on the rear are replaced, the exhaust leak is fixed, all of which should mean that we should, in theory, now pass the main inspection. Emphasis on should. So let's bring her to the main inspection and see if, well, we can now legally drive this thing on the road, finally. We are still not done working on this car. There's still so much stuff to do. And I'm actually taking the Miata for a big road trip, like literally like a 1,000-mile road trip later this month. So until then, it needs to be like fully finished, at least from a technical standpoint. Guys, guess who officially passed the main inspection? Let's go. We're one step closer to finally bringing this car back to life. Well, at least now we can drive it legally on the streets, which is a huge plus, but that doesn't mean that we're done with this car yet. There's still so much work left to do, especially on the visual side of this build, but also on the technical side. So let's head back to the shop, finish the 2 last things that I want to take care of for today, and then take it for a proper drive. In the last video, we saw that the spark plugs were pretty worn out. Back then, I temporarily just gapped them down a little bit just to make the car run better, at least temporarily. But to fix this issue once and for all, we obviously need some fresh new spark plugs. So let's put these in the car right now. let's see how she runs real quick and then move on to the last thing for today. She runs so smooth now. I couldn't be more happy with this car so far. Well, maybe except for the visuals. I'm kind of unhappy about the visuals for obvious reasons. But we're actually gonna start fixing that right now. So I know that what I'm about to do is gonna upset a lot of people out there, but keep in mind we're doing this on a budget, so let me show you what I'm actually gonna do now. So I already cleaned up the wheels, scuffed them up a little bit with some Scotch-Brite, and the plan is that I'm gonna jack up the car from the rear, both wheels, put her into first gear, let off the clutch and let the wheels spin, and then basically just hold my rattle can at the wheels and pray that this is gonna be a semi-okay paint job. Now, hold on. Under normal circumstances, I would be totally with you and I would never do this, but we're doing this on a budget, as I said. And personally, I do not see any better way on painting these wheels very quickly, apart from, well, that. Let's repeat the same thing on the other side, and then let's get back to this side and hit it with 1 or 2 layers of clear coat. Dude, just look at that finish. I don't know if it comes across on camera, but like, this turned out absolutely amazing, especially with the clear coat. It's so nice and shiny. Oh man. Obviously not perfect, but pretty crusty. Not that bad, but still a little crusty. And now, beautiful, shiny black. Sadly, it's already pretty late right now, and I really need to upload this video, so I will not be able to do the front wheels today. But until the next video, they will be finished. But regardless, I think we made a huge amount of progress today, and I'm really excited for the next video, because that's when we will finish the Miata like 100% from a technical standpoint, and then we can finally move on to the visuals. Because let's be honest, this car really needs some visual upgrades at this point. But the most important question still remains, how much money have we spent in today's video? So, the radiator, rear shocks, and the dust boots cost a total of $195. The spark plugs were another $17. And most importantly, the tires cost a whopping $164. Which brings us to a total cost of the build so far, after adding it to the previously spent $2,245, of $2,621 so far. We're getting super close to the total and to the max budget of $3,000, and we still got a long way to go. But anyways, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button right now and subscribe to not miss any future builds or any future episodes on the Miata out there. I'll see you guys in the next one.